to do something for Jay Watts.
Oh, they just announced no fans at the Laker home games. Yeah, dog. We had a COVID spike, by the way. It's ugly out here, fam.
Fam, this NBA season is going to be ridiculous. When I say ridiculous, I mean with a capital R. Just look at what is going on in the sports world in general. Like when you look at what's going on in college football, LSU's supposed to play Alabama, one of the biggest games of the year. Not gonna happen this week. Like when you look at all these games being canceled in college, when you look at all these games getting pushed around in the NFL and what happened with MLB, the NBA is just going to be a weird year, man. Because the NBA, they travel more than they do in football. There's a lot more traveling going on. So
fam, and we want to play. Hold on, we want to play 72 games, fam. That 72 games might be a stretch. That's only 10 less.
Yeah, so it's going to be weird. And then you're going to need all of your young players to be truly professional. Like when you travel into Miami, hey guys, we're staying in. Like you're not going with your friends.
Fam, hold on. Let me ask you something. Hey, because you're a little older. You did 3 years. You did all 4 years.
I did all 4, Caroline.
You did all 4 years. So yeah. So keep in mind, you're about 3 or 4 years more seasoned than these young boys. Rookie year, Brendan Hayward. What's your mindset on the road, man? Try to keep it as clean as you can,
what?
Big fella.
Whoa, rookie year mindset on the road? I was an angel. I was reading my Bible. I was reading my Bible. Hallelujah. Hey, listen, man, rookie year mindset, I was reading my Bible. That's what I was doing. But some of these guys that aren't reading their Bible.
Yeah. Other than me and you. What do those other guys do, man?
Dorian, knock it off. It's gonna be a little bit different because you need these guys to do the right thing at all times. And these guys are used to having a lot of freedom. They're used to going out. And now, you mess around and go out and then you come back. And next thing you know, you can give 2 to 3 guys COVID. We've seen in the NFL where 4 or 5 guys get COVID, right? What happens if 4 or 5 guys on the same team? Let's just say that team is the Phoenix Suns. They're the most likely to have an outbreak. I'll tell you that. If there's going to be an outbreak, it's going to be with the Phoenix Suns. They are clearly the most likely team to have an outbreak.
Dog, hold on, man. Can somebody tell me what happened with the Phoenix Suns?
Oh, you still don't know what happened with the Phoenix Suns?
Nah, fam. Fam, I still don't know.
Well,
I promise. I don't know.
Well, I'm not. This isn't the show for it. So, yeah. But all I'm saying is that I don't know how the NBA season is going to handle these guys that test positive for COVID, because it's going to happen. Guys are going to be asymptomatic. Man, stop looking for what the Phoenix Suns did, man. I know you, bro. Stop it. And so I just understand that it's going to be very, very challenging for this year's NBA season.
August 22nd? Players. Excuse me. Players.
7. Yo, your face is priceless right now.
Her parents have disowned her.
Yo, will you stop reading that? I can't believe you didn't know what happened with the Phoenix Suns this whole time.
She made it to the bubble. I see who made it to the bubble.
Hey, listen, fam. Hey, chill, man. We can't talk about that on this show, man. Hey, Robert Too Cool can talk about it on his page. We can't talk about that here. But if anybody gonna have an outbreak, it's gonna be the Suns. And speaking of this Suns, seamless transition. What do you think about the Phoenix Suns trying to trade for Chris Paul?
Stop it, Beso. I was gonna ask you that. Well, we talked about the Phoenix Suns the other day, and the one thing that they are missing, the one piece they're missing, is their floor general. And they had D-Book taking his lumps 2 years ago playing point guard, and I think he got better by playing point guard, but it's not his natural position. Ricky Rubio's just not healthy enough, dog. With Monty over there, and I believe that Monty, Big Bobby, stop it. No, you're going wild over there.
You have no control. You have no control.
She's little Janice, fam. With Monty, I think Monty has a relationship with Chris. I'm not sure if that maybe USA Basketball or something like that. They just need a floor general, fam. You know what Devin Booker, what he's on. I mean, the boy looked unguardable in that bubble. Obviously, playoff basketball is a different story. But they just need someone to set everybody up. You know, you got enough wings. You got DeAndre Ayton running the middle of the floor. You know, I know you didn't like that Anthony Davis comparison, but he's not Anthony Davis, but he's a young dynamic big, fam. He's a young dynamic big. He's solid, dog. He's a double-double guy. Okay, He's got great soft touch around the rim. He fits the bill. Listen, with all due respect, outside them steroids or whatever he took, and maybe it wasn't whatever performance enhancers, whatever he got banned for. Okay, I don't quote me the wrong way. I may take him over Embiid just because he's gonna be in shape and healthy and run the floor right now and do all that. You know I'm an Embiid guy, fam. You know I love my Embiid, fam. Just show up every night in shape, fam. Fam, just show up every night in shape, fam. Dog, take that mask off, fam. Take that darn mask off.
Whenever you say something ridiculous, I gotta bring out the Stone Cold man.
No, I'm saying I'd rather take the guy who's gonna show up and be in shape, fam.
Right.
At least he's gonna be available. He ain't gonna be hurt. Him eating cheeseburgers. And I love Embiid. You know how I love Embiid, fam.
Yeah. You still think Embiid's better than Anthony Davis? Obviously not. You don't even.
AD just got a ring, fam.
So
that's a whole different conversation.
Hey, this is. I have never seen.
AD is real certified, fam.
I've never seen anybody backpedal as fast. Like even Deion Sanders in his prime couldn't backpedal like you're backpedaling right now. You went from Embiid should be rated as a better big man than Anthony Davis, and then having people come troll my page because I disagree. Had the nerve.
Can you tell people about that and how mad you were? Because people don't know that backstory.
The audacity to have people come troll my page over such a foolish statement. And now you're not even sure if you would take Embiid over DeAndre Ayton.
I ain't never
seen a backpedal like this, dog. This is one of the biggest backpedals in NBA commentating history.
Dog, my guy has to get in shape. I love him like no other. Listen, Joel Embiid, whatever he calls himself, like he got to get off of IG, fam, and just get in shape, fam, and just hoop.
He don't got to get off IG.
Yes, he does. He needs to stop tweeting, fam. Stop tweeting, stop texting, stop all that, fam.
Stop it. That's who he is. And listen,
ain't gonna be in shape. If Embiid ain't in shape, he ain't healthy, he can make it to the playoffs, fam.
Ryan, you played with energy. You played with your heart on your shoulder. You rub some people the wrong way because you be yelling in people's face. But that's you. You had to play like that to get the most out of being Ryan Hollins. Well, if Embiid has to go on Twitter and Instagram and release some frustration, I'm cool with you going on. Ain't nothing wrong with going on Instagram and Twitter and doing funny stuff. But you got to back it up. You got to put the work in.
But that's the key to what you're saying, bro. If I yell in your face and I fumble the ball out of bounds, we got to have a conversation. Now,
but you've done that before.
Big dunk, if I yell out the big dunk, like, okay, big fella, stay with it, man. Stay with it.
But that's all I'm saying is he don't have to stop tweeting. We already know Embiid is so good. If Embiid and Zion Williamson are the two guys, they are so good. If they just show up in shape, they're better than almost everybody else at their position. If they just show up in shape. Like if Embiid didn't shoot a ball all summer and all he did was eat right, lift weights, and condition, he would come out there and kick people's behinds. He's that much better from an offensive standpoint, probably. Like true centers, there's not another center in his stratosphere offensively. I'm talking about true centers. I'm not talking about just all in all bigs, because then you got to include Anthony Davis.
I mean, look, you like Drummond is a 5, and Drummond's more of a rebounder. Drummond even told us he has problems with him on the pot. And Aiden's honestly wants to be more of a 4. Aiden's big enough as a 5, but his mindset is really 4. He is better than Aiden. Don't quote that wrong. I'm just saying at least Aiden's gonna be in shape. Bobby stepping. What other 5s? I feel like I'm missing somebody, dog.
Joker.
And he's much better than Joker if he's in shape.
He's in shape.
In shape.
He's in shape.
Yeah, if he's in shape. Like, and Joker tell you, Joker just kept it a buck. He was like, yo, why do you pass so well? He's like, because I'm slow. I have to.
Yeah.
Why do you shoot so well? Because I have to shoot well. I'm slow. Like I'm big and slow.
I'm with y'all. Joker's better than Embiid right now because Joker's taking it more serious. Joker showed up to the bubble in shape. Joker, Joker, listen, we already know what Embiid can be, and that's part of the problem. But it is what it is. But getting back to these Phoenix Suns,
Dog, we are not taking Boban and Rudy Gobert over him. Chill.
And that's
What up, Landon?
Not taking Nurkic either. But
while we on the Chris Paul contract, I want to know where is Chris Paul likely to go, and where would you like to see him go? If you had one destination you could plant Chris Paul in, where would it be?
Clippers, because they need him the most. That would be the best fit. Now, money-wise, I don't think that works. That would be the best fit. He's played in LA. His family still lives in LA. So he probably still has a house in LA. Guess what? They are trying to win a championship. Doc Rivers is gone. You know what I'm saying? That him and Doc kind of had their little rift. That's gone.
It was weird.
Yeah, Blake Griffin's gone. DeAndre Jordan gone. All the guys that kind of that were there from the old Clippers are gone. And now you already
chill on them old Clippers talk, fam.
Hey, listen, man, I'm just saying, man, you said that the Clippers need a floor general. Well, Chris Paul can be that. Like, Chris Paul would set Kawhi up. He would set Paul George up. He would run the show. But I don't think that money-wise it's going to work. But that would be the best place for Chris Paul.
Would you trade Paul George for him? Would you go as far as trading Paul George for Chris Paul? Would that make the Clippers better or worse? Or obviously, in a perfect scenario, you have them all together.
I can't do that. I know, like, Chris is like 34, 35. He had a very good year, but part of what made his year so special was they asked him to do less. They asked him to do less. They asked him the fantasy show in the building. What up,
Smitty?
Hey, Smitty's time is coming. I'm gonna put it to you like, hey, Brian, I think Smitty gotta take a bet because I think I'm gonna smash straight up. I don't think it's gonna be close. Like, I'm beating him by 30 bricks. If I beat you by 30 bricks, you gotta shout out that Brendan Haywood's a better fantasy player than me on your next live or your next post. Smitty, you taking the bet or what? You don't even gotta listen. You just gotta stay within 30 bricks. I think I'm beating you by 30 bricks, Smitty.
If you say that, if he has to say that on his show, Brendan,
bam, I'm gonna beat Smitty by 30 bricks, easy. I'm gonna sleepwalk into that 30. But getting back to the Clippers, what made Chris Paul good last year was, hey man, Shai Gilgeous could do what he had to do. Schroeder could come in and do what he had to do. They even had Gallinari. Like, Chris Paul's usage was way down. If you have Kawhi with load managing, it's a bet. Got him. Listen, if you got Kawhi load managing, on top of that, there's no Paul George, because Paul's usage is going to go up. At 35 years old, I'm not sure if that's what you want. I'd keep Paul George. As much as I love Chris Paul, I know Paul didn't show up, but I'd keep him and give him another chance.
Wow, Clippers, that'd be intriguing. I like that. I think you're really excited with the year that Chris had last year, and if he can just stay healthy. Wow, Goose 6'6", 220 with the badge, man. Appreciate the love, man. Y'all are really repping today. I think that'd be cool to see. No, Chris to Portland wouldn't work. You got Damian Lillard, Dame and CJ. That'd be too straight up. Any other teams that come to play when you think about Chris Paul? Here, give me my phone, Bumpy. Lay Daddy's here.
Milwaukee. I think Milwaukee.
I don't like. I'm gonna be honest. I don't like Milwaukee because, like you said, like Giannis is looking for someone who can have a heavy usage. It has to be a scenario that works. I tell you, a team that when I was on First Take, I want to see this happen, but it couldn't work out. Was Chris Paul to Philadelphia? Shout out Flyer with the badge.
Yeah. Chris Paul is all like Chris Paul's personality. I'm not like Chris Paul, and he's a great person. You've played with Chris, but Chris can be in your face.
I feel like these guys are young enough where they'd have to listen to him.
Do they?
They're young enough where they'd have to listen to him.
Does Embiid have to listen to Chris Paul? does Ben Simmons have to listen to Chris Paul?
There's enough of an age gap. See, Chris and from playing with Chris, the problem is that Chris and James were close enough, and James wasn't on the level, but he like, Chris, you don't have a championship either. You didn't choke in some playoff series, so you can't really just yell and scream at me. Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, whose games I called and have a good, decent relationship with, Shai is so young. Whenever Chris spoke, he was just listening. There was no lip, no back, no nothing. So he really was able to be mentored by Chris, and that's why that relationship with him and Schroeder worked. And then he really got along with Schroeder, who's much younger. And I'm just saying, I think Embiid and Simmons are young enough and haven't really accomplished anything to where they would have to listen to him. You're not buying it?
No. I think you can't compare Shai Gilgeous to Embiid because Shai Gilgeous hasn't done what Embiid has done.
Fair.
Shai Gilgeous was just coming off of a young Clippers team where he was happy to have the role that he had. Embiid probably feels like, this is my team. Who are you talking to like that? And then it comes down to, like you said, no, you ain't never won nothing. You ain't never won nothing. So what you gonna tell me? Ben Simmons the same way, like, fam, like all that in your face stuff is not gonna work with these new school young guys that are sitting on $200 million contracts, been all-stars year in and year out. They're not trying to hear that. Truthfully, Devin Booker ain't trying to hear it neither. I'm gonna give you this for free. If Chris goes to a team with another young star, he's going to have to be a different Chris from a personality leadership standpoint. Because all that in your face, rah, 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 isn't going to flow with everybody. Devin Booker's going to be like, boy, what? Dude, I average.
The problem is it's not in practice. Chris is extremely competitive. It's after a big game. It's after it's in a timeout in a really big game where Chris he wants to win. And sometimes what drives people crazy about Chris is there's hypocrisy there. And now, if Chris already knows his role, it'll be fine.
Whoa. What do you mean there's hypocrisy there? You got to explain that.
I'm going to. The hypocrisy comes in where Chris will yell at you about an assignment that you missed while his man is blowing by him. And we'll be like, dog, like, you didn't help on the weak side either. Or like, your man has 35 right now at this moment. So how are you going to tell me about defending or where I should be? So that's where the upset. But like, if roles are established, expectations are there, I believe that he could work in this scenario. But if you're like him and James Harden were too close, they sized each other up. And then when he went to blame him, like, James, man, give me the basketball, or like, yo, make a play, or like, yo, play some defense. Like, James was looking at Chris like, you don't play defense either, fam. So the hypocrisy in that situation is what drives him crazy, if that makes sense. That's what gets people up in arms. But with Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and Schroeder, it was probably established, y'all are faster than me. You guys are younger. I'm going to do my best, okay? And I believe that's why it worked.
Well, it's not going to work. It's not going to work with these new school kids. And it's not going to work with new school guys that already have an established reputation, that already have gotten the bag, and are already all-stars. It's not going to work. So if Chris were to go to Philly, or if Chris were even to go to Phoenix, like, dog, he's going to have to realize, if Chris is going to have to do things differently. He's got to learn from his mistakes. I hate when people say, yeah, dog, I act like that because that's the way I am. No, that's the way you choose to be. That's the way you choose. There's a difference. Somebody's like, oh yeah, you know how I am. No, I know how you choose to be. Chris, if he gets traded, which is there's a strong chance that he does, with the next team superstar, he's going to have to choose to be different. So the in your face time, in your timeout type of situation, there's a time where you're going to have to. Of course, you're going to have to get in God's face if you're a leader, but you have to understand how that's done, who you can do that to, how you should go about it. You don't yet, like, I play with different people, right? So
did you ever play with it, and maybe you don't have to say names, have you ever played with a bad leader or a guy that was kind of like, we're not really feeling the way he's talking?
I never played with a bad leader because most of the time, the locker room knows who the real leader is. So like I talked about, everybody thought Gilbert Arenas was the leader in DC. It was Larry Hughes. The locker room already anointed Larry the leader. Gilbert could tell you that. Larry was the only one that could talk to Gil. We actually need to get Larry on the pod next week so he can tell some of these stories. Like Larry was the only person that could bring Gil down when he would go off the reservation. And we knew that. So he was our leader. I like in DC, not DC, in Dallas, you know, Dirk led by example, but the leader was Jason Kidd. J. Kidd was the leader. When tough things need to be said, like the locker room appoints the leader. So I've never been on a team with a bad leader because I've never been on a team where the leader appointed himself. Like you might be the best player, you might not be the leader.
How about Charlotte? How about Charlotte? You guys were pretty young.
We didn't really. Kemba was the leader, but he was a leader in training. So outside, like we had Kemba, he was pretty much the leader of the team. Everybody else was kind of quiet. Like that was pretty much it. Everybody was kind of quiet. Like, you know, we had Ben Gordon, but Ben Gordon is just a workaholic and he's kind of quiet. Ramon Sessions is just to himself. He's kind of quiet.
Sesh don't say nothing, dog.
Exactly. Sesh don't say two words. So we pretty much just Kemba was the leader in Charlotte, but he was a leader. He was a pup. He was a leader in training.
See, a lot of my losing teams, horrible leadership. Horrible leadership. Horrible. I'm not gonna throw out a name. Don't want to disrespect nobody like that, but
man, throw out a name, man. They can't get to you.
Nah, fam, I ain't doing that. And I would say even in Cleveland, we just weren't talented. Like Twan, I would say Twan was our leader, but Antoine, like Twan is not the like in your face type. Twan was like, hey, young fella, we need to do this, this, and this. Like, and like he knew we didn't have enough talent, so it was like, man, just come out and compete every night, you know. And Byron Scott was such a strong. But you know what turned our season around a little bit? When I was in Cleveland, they thought that.
Hold on, time out. The Cleveland season turned around at some point. Where was I?
That's what I said a little bit.
Where was I? That Cleveland season never turned around. Y'all was bad from beginning to end.
No, seriously. We traded Mo Williams for Baron Davis. And they thought BD didn't even want to play basketball no more. They thought he was going to hang it up. Baron, when he came with us, Baron lit up. Like, it was almost like he was just excited to be out of L.A. And, like, all of our young guys just gravitated around him. And we started winning games, fam. So I would say we're playing at least over 500 ball. And in the East, you cracking some play. I remember I was laughing.
Y'all played over 500 ball for like what, a week?
No, like the whole time out. Like, we were winning 3 out of 4 games. Like, we were popping teams, bro.
The Cleveland Cavaliers were not 3 out of 4 were not playing 75% basketball, Ryan. I'm calling cap.
We had some.
For how long?
Stretches,
like 2 weeks?
You got to think Baron came like at the deadline, like later on. So we were so far out of it. We weren't making the playoffs. We were so far out of it. But you got to think we're playing the Pistons 4 times a year. We're playing Orlando. Like, it's the East, fam. So it's not like we're in the West.
I don't even remember how long Baron was there. So how was he there for the whole rest of the year?
No, that's why I said he came very late.
So
he came very late.
So from the All-Star break till the end of the year?
Yeah, then I'm not gonna say we won 3 out of, because at some point they ended up shutting him down. I want to say, but whatever it was, we put it like this, B. If he was there the whole season, we would have made the playoffs. Because in the East, if you just beat the teams you're supposed to beat, you're going to be above 500. You're going to be above 500. And I say that because Baron as a leader.
Straight edge guy said, you talk about practice.
Baron as a leader, Baron was doing a heck of a job, dog. And like our young, like I don't want to say Baron's like Chris Paul, but I would say in a sense that it was a fit. Just how, come here, Beso. Just how Chris got with them, got with the Thunder, and it was just a good fit. Obviously, we didn't make the playoff. We didn't have enough time, but
and the people that said I got to get the Stone Cold mask, they call it cap on this.
Boy, I was there. Kill that. But Baron did a really good job, leadership-wise. He did a heck of a job leadership-wise, and we were winning the games we were supposed to do, and a couple that we weren't. Remember, we beat the Heat that year. That's when we beat Miami. The first time we got blasted by LeBron and them. Second time, that's why we beat Miami. Like, because you have to think, the team when LeBron left, everything was constructed around having a playmaker, having a guy who could dribble, get guys open, and you had bigs who could run the rim, J.J. Hickson, real athletic, me, Varejao and them, and then you had Anthony Parker and Boobie on the wing. So BD came out, he was breaking people down. Everything fit. We had shooters. We beat the Heat, fam. You remember that? Yes, we beat the Heat with them.
That's one game.
It was more games than that. That's what I'm saying. We were playing consistent basketball. So that's why when BD decides to play, he can't be touched, fam. And what happened was, and this is tough. I'm giving you a backstory, fam. So BD plays well. They had already penciled in that Barron wouldn't be on the team or that he would just be completely uninterested in Cleveland. Barron pulled the woo-wham, and he was all in with Cleveland.
Hold on, what a Barron pull?
He put the woo-wham, fam. He was all in. He was all in, fam. They didn't think. Hey,
no, you making stuff up now.
They pulled the okie doke, fam. BD pulled that okie doke because they thought he was just gonna call it, bro. They thought he wouldn't even report. And
whoa, hold on. I hate to cut your story short. They saying Russell Westbrook wants out of Houston.
I was gonna ask you about that. I didn't know
Wow.
it was. I didn't know it was public.
Well, shit. Man, Houston probably want him out.
Yeah. Well, I don't see that tweeted. I just clicked it, so I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
I don't think. I
know they're shopping him. I know he's being shopped.
Well, listen. This is what they got right now on Bleacher Report. Russell Westbrook, after one season, wants to be moved. After spending only 1 year with the Houston Rockets, Russell Westbrook is hoping to move on this offseason, according to Shams Charania. Adrian Wojnarowski reported earlier Wednesday that Westbrook and Harden had shared their concern about the direction of the franchise under new coach Steven Silas and newly promoted general manager Raphael Stone. Meanwhile, Harden reportedly remains committed to Houston.
Yeah, I don't think that's like a big breaking news.
Hey, listen, it just popped up on my phone. Russell Westbrook wants out of Houston. Why? Is he going to play winning basketball? Why does he want out of Houston? I always say this. People get mad, some people don't like it. The hardest thing to do for an NBA superstar is look himself in the mirror and realize that he might be part of the problem. Russell Westbrook does not play winning basketball. Like in the postseason, them wild jumpers, them wild first side jumpers, reckless drives to the basket, that's not going to win. You're going to have to be able to set some people up. You're going to have to be able to run some offense. You're going to have to your jumper is going to have to become better from the three-point line. People aren't guarding you. Like, I don't understand why Russ wants out of Houston, to tell you the truth. Like, I'm trying to figure out why he wants out of Houston. Like, why? Like, they weren't guarding you in the playoffs. They weren't.
Fam, you gotta understand. If you're looking at the direction that Houston's going in, and by no means Russ is my guy, but Russ is to blame for everything. They literally weren't guarding him. That's inexcusable. He's too good. I don't care. Listen, I know some really good players who weren't the best shooters. But the one thing when it comes to Russ, I don't care how well you shoot the ball, you're too good to ever just not be guarded. And that was just full on this. And they lost and everything because the Lakers just weren't guarding him. It was just, and it worked. And it worked. And normally teams try it for a possession or two. You knock down 1 or 2 shots or beat them twice, and things change. But when Mike D'Antoni gets out, you don't replace him with a Sam Cassell or a Ty Lue or one of these coaches on the market, and you promote Steven Silas, who's an excellent guy, but this is his first time around. This is the first time coach, so he's not going to have any pull, any say. Daryl Morey gets up out of there. Russell Westbrook sees the writing on the wall. He doesn't want to be a part of a seemingly rebuild. And I think he's probably on the chopping. I think it's mutual. I think just as much as Houston's probably ready to move on, he's ready to move on too. So
a rebuild. So
I
let
don't
me
know
tell
how
you.
committed they are. I don't know how
Listen,
I don't know how committed to a direction that they are in Houston right now.
how good are Russ and James? Two superstars like that playing together ain't supposed to be no rebuild. What do you mean rebuild?
I would agree. But listen, the Beatles breaking up, fam. The Beatles breaking up, man.
Like I said, I'm looking at it from the standpoint of Russ. How do you think a team is going to win in the playoffs when teams don't guard you from three? They're not even scared of your mid-range jumper. Like, dog, you can have all them shots. The only shots they're worried about were his shots at the rim. Watch how the Lakers played them. They said, if you want to take a one-dribble pull-up, fine. Or take a jumper, a three-point jumper, fine. Spot up in the corner, fine. The only thing we're worried about you doing is driving to the basket. And what happens in a playoff, if you're a high-level player and you're a one-trick pony, your trick can be exposed. That's what happens in the playoffs. That's what happened to Russell Westbrook. That's what happened. So the fact that he wants out of Houston, where does he think he can go and win? They're going to do the exact same thing to you in the playoffs next year. Like, I love Russ, the competitor. I know Russ is a Hall of Famer. I'm not disrespecting him. He's been an MVP in this league. He's averaged a triple-double for multiple years. But no matter where Russ goes, when that team gets into the playoffs, the scouting report to beat that team is going to be you know how in the NFL they got let Russ cook the good way? Well, they're gonna let. Hey, listen. In the NFL, they let Russ cook, and that's Russell Wilson, and he's cooking. In the NBA, in the playoffs, they let Russ cook as well, but he's burning meals. That's the difference. He's burning meals. Like, dog, no matter where Russ goes in the playoffs, his weaknesses will be exposed.
We got to look even before Russell Westbrook, and we've always questioned the direction of Houston. They decide not to play a center on roster. They've been doing weird stuff, fam. They try to knock off the 72-win Warriors, which I appreciate, but it was a little crazy. Yeah. All right, Coach D. But beyond,
Robert too cool. The Lakers don't want him. Don't want him.
Literally beyond Russell Westbrook, we've questioned what Houston is doing, fam. James Harden is that darn good that we can overlook a lot of things. But we've always questioned that direction in Houston. So should Russell Westbrook have to look himself in the mirror? Yes. But by no means do I take that away. But we've been questioning Houston, fam. Dog, and like you said, when you have two superstar players, right? And we'll call Russ he's a superstar cuss player, whatever you want to play. I don't want to debate that. Those two guys in their primes or around their primes, you don't bring in a first-year head coach. That lets me know you're not serious about it. Or not a coach who's just, listen, Steven Silas is an amazing guy. But I think they're not going to give him the control that he would like to have. And when you as a player see things going on like that, I don't blame Russ for wanting to get out. I don't blame him at all. And as hard as he plays, I feel, and also, listen, man, I'm going to give him some excuses. Should he have been better? Yeah. Take into account he got COVID. He was training his butt off, got COVID, and probably had to sit in the house for 2 weeks before hitting the bubble. He had to have, if I'm not mistaken, a knee procedure or had to sit out on that knee. So should Russ have been better? Yes. Were these ideal situations for him? No.
Did he have COVID? Did he have COVID the year before in the playoffs, where he was taking the same bad shots and Dame Lillard hit the shot to end the franchise and waved at him?
Too much freedom, man. Just way too much freedom. He had too much freedom.
Did he have COVID the year before that when Utah and rookie Donovan Mitchell sent him home?
He tricked off. They dropped the ball.
What makes Russell great in the regular season gets exposed in the postseason. That going to the basket with reckless abandon and playing at one speed, it is entertaining. It is entertaining. Watching Russell Westbrook is entertaining. But is it winning basketball? Has it ever worked? Like, how many guys have rings where their best player plays like that? Like, he has No consistent. He doesn't really have a consistent 3-point shot. Plays a reckless abandon his drive to the basket. You better be 6'9" if you're gonna play like that. Like LeBron used to play like that to a certain degree.
And Ben Simmons struggling playing like that also. Look,
Yeah.
we got to give him the same talk we give Giannis, the same talk we give Ben Simmons. And honestly, Russell's shooting has regressed. Normally, you get older, you shoot better. Russell's shooting has regressed. He was never a great shooter, but Russell would make he make enough, but like he's regressed, dog.
And I didn't like your last take though when you said a first time head coach tells me that you're not serious about winning. Let me ask you a question. When Nick Nurse took over for Dwayne Casey, was he a first-time head coach? He won. Coach Bud in Milwaukee, first-time head coach, right? First-time head coach, yeah. These were guys that have been lifelong assistants.
No. Bud was in Atlanta, if I'm not mistaken.
Bud was not a head coach in Atlanta.
Okay.
But he was an assistant in Atlanta because I remember he got in trouble.
Okay.
That's where he got in trouble for that DUI in Atlanta.
Okay.
So he was an assistant. So that's the thing. Like, there's been plenty of first-year head coaches that have done well. That doesn't mean that you need to leave. Like, you think the team can't win, but in actuality, if you and James are like that, if y'all combine to make $80+ million. If y'all are supposed to be $80+ million worth of player, if we have y'all two, we supposed to just be able to build around y'all and make it work. So the fact that Russ doesn't want to be there is a little concerning because either it's A, he ain't looking in the mirror, or B, he looking at James and saying, I don't know if I like what that guy doing.
Why he can't like the direction that Houston's going in? Why can that? Hold on. Let me ask this, B. Why can everybody question the direction of the Houston Rockets but Russell Westbrook? That's my problem now. Let's not make it sound like this is just like he's leaving the Spurs or he's leaving the Celtics or he's leaving this finely run organization that was competing. Like, yo, what's wrong with you, son? Like, what's wrong with him? Why is he one out? Like, don't act like Houston is just this fine run organization or James Harden. And I love James. Don't act like James is just playoff certified. And you said it does say something about James Harden. It does. I love James. And I don't think this is about James. But at the same time, it ain't like he leaving LeBron like Kyrie. We like, Kyrie, why you leaving LeBron? I don't know those details, but we just like, why? Like, you're going to win. You guys want a chip. You guys want a chip. You know what I'm saying? Like, so I understand that James Harden also has to have something to play there, has to have something. And maybe he's just saying, James, I love you. I don't want to be the guy that messes your deal up. You know what I'm saying? Maybe you can bring in somebody else who's a better fit. Because as much as we want to make this work, me and you work the best fit, James. That's fair. We all had questions about Russ and James getting together with no center on roster. And you trade off Clint Capella. Tyson Chandler was apparently too old to be inserted in. And even if Tyson Chandler could have gave you some minutes, they weren't going to put him in. I have no problem with that. We can both agree we're not a fit. Okay, and now I don't want to say we're stuck together, but we're stuck together.
Like I said, I look at Russ and James, and if they're supposed to be two cornerstones of a franchise, you can build around them. You can put pieces around them. Like, dog, when the Lakers did that trade, and basically all they had was LeBron James. What did everybody say? How are they going to get guys to play with these guys? They gave up too much. What did I tell you? They got Anthony Davis. They got LeBron James. They'll be fine. Like when you got when you got them two pieces, you're supposed to be able to build around it. And so that's what I'm saying. And when I watch here's the thing. Russ gets to question the organization. He does. Any star does. But it looks funny in the light when I turn on the TV and in the playoffs, the reason they're losing is because of you. Like, you're the reason, you're the guy they're not guarding. It's not like it was in OKC when Kevin Durant was like, listen, dog, they ain't guarding Deion Waiters and some of these other guys. It's too hard for me. Nah, fam.
That's true.
Nah, this ain't that situation. They're not guarding you. The last 3 years in the playoffs, Russ has been on have basically said, dog, take any shot you want because we don't believe you can hit enough of them, and you don't know that you shouldn't be taking those shots. That is the scouting report. That is what is going on. Dog, keep them off the free throw line. Don't let them get, sag back to the paint, challenge them at the rim. That is all the Lakers did. And teams that have the bigs and are athletic enough to implement that strategy give Russ problems in the playoffs. He ain't going to hit enough jumpers to beat you.
Nah, look, I'm with it. I'm with it.
Out there like 6'3" Greek freak.
Look, man, these guys, whether it's Westbrook, whether it's CP3, it's all about situation, man. The right organization, the right fit. B, me and you both know it. In our 24 years of NBA experience combined, certain teams you're gonna look like $1 million. Get in another situation, not so much. Depending on the system, depending on what they're running, how coach is using you, what's happening, all that plays a factor. I think Houston's done a good job of competing. But like you said, dog, when you have players that are literally 2 MVP level players, you expect a championship. And like, if they had lost to the Lakers, I don't think we lose our minds. But the fact is, the way they lost to the Lakers, gentlemen's sweep, where the Lakers weren't even guarding Russ. That's where it got to the point, like, dog, like, something got to change. Like, what's wrong with y'all? Like, I don't know what's going on, but that ain't supposed to happen like that. That ain't supposed to happen like that. And I think that's what we really saw, man. Good stuff there, B. Breaking news. We're trying to get all over it. We'll get back to the draft talk tomorrow. We'll talk more free agency. We're gonna air some podcasts pretty soon, man. We drop some more content, but make sure if you hadn't seen it, guys, go and check out the Patrick Ewing pod. He goes off, man. Pat, I looked up to Pat growing up. Raise your hand if you looked at the Pat. One in the chat if you looked at the Patrick Ewing growing up, like, you know what I'm saying? Or I wasn't a Knicks fan, but I just love some Pat Ewing. He was a, favorite, man. My guy, Straight Edge guy, said it best. Let me shout out these badges, man. Shout out all of you guys who rep. And we have some new people who bought badges today, man. King Cali Cat in the house, man, with a 2-star badge. Appreciate you, brother. Thank you for coming through. My brother, Flyer26, who's been repping with us again, man. Goose 66 2020, man, with a badge. That's super dope right there. Clearly Crystal, the first lady of the chat. Straight Edge guy. My brother, Rich Ali Comedy. Coach D representing for Temecula. SoCal Warrior Joel is back in the house, baby. My dog, Gringo Billy. And my dog with a 3-star badge off the rip, man. Robert, too cool for you, man. If you check his page, make sure your girl, your wife, your significant other is not around. But it's time for Big Man Bias, man, where we answer your questions, your comments, your concerns. Throw them in. If we miss your comment, spam it so that we can see it, and we'll try to get to you, man. And we appreciate all you guys who bought badges, man. Y'all have been showing major, major love.
First one, Landon Buford. Do the Mavs need goons around Luka? Nah, today's game of basketball isn't about goons. The Lakers won. Who were their goons? Like, I mean, Dwight would get a little rough and rugged, but you don't need goons. That's old school 90s basketball. What Luka does need is another playmaker. It doesn't have to be like an all-star, but he needs somebody else that he can kick the ball to, and they can get theirs in the fourth quarter, so it's not all Luka. And then I think Luka would help Dallas if Luka improves his three-point percentage. He takes 9 to 10 threes a game. If you're going to take that many threes, your percentage needs to be above 31%. So
I agree, but I disagree. So when the Morris twins stepped on Luka and got in his face, Kristaps Porzingis can't be your goon. He can't be.
Don't need a goon.
They need one guy. Yes, they do.
No,
I disagree. Because Luka can't be fighting. Luka can't be touched. If you hit LeBron the wrong way, you look at LeBron wrong, you getting one of these, fam. Dog, I bumped into LeBron game playing Giants, playing the Heat, fam. And you already know, dog, James Jones and Mike Miller, dog, they had it out for me, fam.
So James, that's my point.
And James Jones is definitely not an enforcer, but he knew his role. He knew if someone touched Bron, he was going, all 175 pounds of James Jones was going to try his best, fam.
That's what I'm saying. You don't need goons. Because you just said James Jones and Mike Miller. Those are the two polar opposites of goons. They've never been confused with goons. Goons in today's game of basketball do not work.
They knew their role, though. They knew their role. So maybe not
Understand.
goons, but maybe guys who know their role. You don't touch Luka. You touch somebody else. You listen, dog. Whatever it is, you gotta have it's levels to this, fan. You don't touch Luka, dog. Did I ever tell you about when James Jones tried to fight me and then like apologized to me in the play and then told me he had to look good in preseason?
Dog, everybody tried to fight you, man.
I'm light skinned, fam. You think I'm sweet, fam? I'm light skinned, fam. You think
stop that. You was a dog. You was hella annoying out there at times.
No, I had nothing to do with this. James went out of his way on the cross screen and hit me with his elbow. And I looked at him like, dog, are you kidding me right now? And then he tried to talk big. He was like, it's preseason. I got to look good for coach. No, fam, it's because I'm light-skinned. I'm light-skinned and I'm skinny. I had to deal with it my whole life, Brendan. I had to deal with it my whole life. You'll understand.
All right.
Yeah, let's see. You always been the biggest man on the block. You ain't had to worry about that, fam.
They said bringing the new school, Anthony Mason, Luke is good. What we got here?
Yeah, Luka need a goon, fam. I don't want to hear at least somebody who know his role. James Jones know no one touches LeBron, okay? Yo, King Cali Cat. Hey, they know nobody touched LeBron, okay?
Man, please. Ain't too many goons out there. Straight up.
At least know your role. When look, he said Jared Dudley. Yeah, when Jared Dudley was in Brooklyn and Embiid hit Jared out, he ran up on Embiid. He like, dog, I ain't playing no major minutes, but you ain't about to get my young boy like that.
But that's what I'm saying. We both know Jared is not a goon. That's what
don't let that nice guy fool you. Jared is a bully, fam. He's just, all TV polished now. Jared is a bully. Low-key, Jared is a goon. Don't let that smooth taste fool you, dog. And all the, hey guys, I'm Jared, ha, laugh at me, and Elmer Fudd face, all that. Jared is low-key a goon, bro. He's a bully.
What? Did you just say Elmer Fudd?
You didn't see when he was trending on the internet for being called Elmer Fudd?
Dog, you can't say that about your friend, man.
I love that dude. Jared will laugh about it.
So you called him Elmer Fudd face?
Yeah, dog, no, he'll laugh about it.
What?
No, dog, you didn't see it? It was like trending. Hold on.
You ain't got to find it for me, man. I trust you, fam.
Yeah, fam. They were, dog, I know that's not the first time you heard that.
I promise you, I've never heard it before. I've never heard Jared Dudley Elmer Fudd face. Never heard that.
And some of y'all who are too young to know.
Serge Ibaka to the Lakers. What do y'all think? I think Serge would be an incredible addition to the Lakers if that could actually happen. I mean, Serge, man, y'all need to stop it, man. I'm not messing with y'all, man. Serge can hit he can step out, hit the three. He's still a good shot blocker. He's a no-nonsense guy. So I guess he's as close to a goon as you're going to get in today's game. I done seen Serge throw hands out there on plenty of occasions. And then he's still good enough to get to his jump hook and finish strong. So I think I would like to see Serge with the Lakers if they could get that done.
Well, how about Serge in Dallas?
Yeah, I like Serge. I mean, there's not
Serge in Dallas is a problem, fam.
Serge fits anywhere. I would like to see Serge in Dallas. Yeah, Serge. Somebody said Serge.
You play with Serge somewhere?
No, I always played against him. Never played with him. Now Serge is a goon. Serge
they say Serge a goon. They call him Snapping Pop, fam. Serge fight.
Dog, he got into it with Robin Lopez. They were throwing haymakers. They just missed each other. And dog, I don't know what happened in the game. He tried to fight the young kid. What's the young kid's name that played in Phoenix and Golden State? Real bouncy. He played in Golden State. He played in Phoenix first, though. He was playing for the Cavs, and he said something to Serge, and Serge hauled off and choked him to the basket support.
Childs. He a little wild too, though. Not Childs. He played in Washington. The young boy from Washington. He a little wild too, fam.
Yeah, Marquise Chris. That's
Marquise
it.
Chris. Not Childs Chris. Yeah.
Serge.
Marquise Chris is a little wild too, fam.
I don't know, but he didn't look wild on that play. He looked like he didn't want the smoke. He looked like he got the smoke and he choked. Hey, some people are wild until you realize you run up against somebody that's really, really wild.
You got to think. Serge was part of that NBA that saw Ron Artest.
Hey, listen,
did you watch that? Quick note real quick.
Hold on a second. about goons and you talk about wild. I only got a couple minutes to get out of here. I got a question. Do you want to hear a story?
Hey. Hey.
Do you want to hear a story?
Hey.
I played with the original goon. I'm not gonna say the original goon, but one of the OG goons that was still left in the league when I got there. My second year, they brought in Charles Oakley. Fam, we're going to shoot around. Apparently, I had no idea. This is young Brendan Haywood getting ready for shoot, walking into the gym. Apparently, him and Jeff McGinnis had words on the phone. I'm not sure what it was about. You know, I could probably guess, but you know, they had words on the phone. No.
This is no internet, no. You know, we have beepers at the time, beepers and Nextels and sidekicks.
Hey man, we had sidekicks and all that, and Nextel, Motorola.
What no internet? What no social media?
Listen, what Charles Oakley ain't like that. Dog, I've never seen nothing like this before in my life. Charles Oakley made a beeline right to Jeff McGinnis. Right to him. Ah! Like, dog, you can't just smack another grown man, dog.
Wait, shoot around?
Like, you know how the other team is coming off the court when you walking on?
Yeah.
He had words. Right over, like, Lamar Odom was like, yo, chill, Oak. Oak looked at Lamar Odom like, boy, if you don't move, you going to catch the beat down instead of him. Soon as he moved, Jeff went, hey, like, dog, I was like, oh my God. He just walking around smacking other grown men. I was like, man, gotta keep this guy on my side, man. Shoot.
Dog, where was team security?
I think they was just as shocked as I was. It was so quick. Didn't nobody know what's going on.
And then they just walked off and it was cool.
It was kind of remember in the movie How High when they put the baby powder in there? Ah! Hey, listen, man, I'm telling you, man. You ever get smacked so hard? Hey, you ever get hit so hard? Jeff got smacked so hard, he started nodding his head, but ain't nobody asking no question. Like, pow! It was something like that. Yeah, fam. So when you talk about goons, that's a goon. Charles Oakley, the original goon. He's still a goon to this day. You see him at the Big Three, he still want the smoke. He want to fight your players in the Big Three.
No, Oak was my coach, fam. Oak tried to fight all of us. We on the team, fam.
Hey, listen, and here's the thing.
Oak was the coach, bro.
Hey, and here's the thing, Ryan. If you would have fought Oak and won, you could have never come to Chicago again because he knows real goons, straight up. Hey, but I got to go. I got a time constraint. I got to do something for Jay Watts at 8 o'clock. Go check out the podcast, iTunes, YouTube, Spotify. Pat Hewen episode just dropped. Oakley was a goon with Pat Hewen, too. McGinnis, watch your mouth.
Oh, my God, man. Y'all wildin', man. Hey, B Wood is out of here, man. Let me shout out these badges again, man. Y'all are repping with us, holding us down. Shout out King Cali Cat, Flyer 26, Goose 66, 2020. Clearly Crystal, the First Lady, man. My brother James Child, Straight Edge Guy. My bro Rich Ali Comedy, man. Coach D. SoCal Warrior. Gringo Billy in the house again, man. And Robert, too cool for you. Make sure you guys follow each other, rep with each other, man. We're a community. We want to help and help each other out, rep with everybody and what everybody's doing, man. Coach D is starting really sun cool out there in Temecula. Shout out all you guys and your projects. Appreciate you guys seriously for coming out and repping with us each and every single day, man. DB, what's up with you, baby? And we'll be back at it tomorrow, man.